How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video here on the Nat Automotive YouTube channel, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a little product review of a really cool flashlight that I picked up from Harbor Freight not too long ago. Thank you all so much for coming by and checking out this video. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, check out my Instagram page here at this handle. I post a lot of behind the scenes content, automotive photography content, just a bunch of really cool stuff that you might not see here on YouTube. And if you're new to the channel, definitely consider checking out some of the other videos I have. I do all sorts of automotive related things with my go-kart build here, the Corvette project or vet kart build coming here, and just a lot of other stuff that has to do with cars, building things. You know, it's a really cool place to be if you want to see some cool automotive related content. But to get to the topic of today's video, today I will be reviewing the Braun Rechargeable flashlight that you can get from Harbor Freight Tools. It's a really cool flashlight that works really well for mechanics or just people that need a really good quality flashlight. So let's go ahead and I'll take you over to the flashlight and show you some of the cool features and a little bit more about the product. Alrighty, so what we have here is the 390 lumen Braun foldable flashlight with a magnetic base. Now this flashlight I believe came out not too long ago from Harbor Freight. Now Harbor Freight started doing these like specially branded kind of series of tools. So this is Braun, which they make a lot of different flashlights at Harbor Freight. Now in particular, this one again is 390 lumens and it has a rechargeable battery that is in the end of the flashlight here. And so how it works is there's a little cover here on the back, and it's just a micro USB cord that you use, and it comes with it, so you can get a micro USB cord, but I know a lot of people have them for their phone or other electronic devices, and you just plug it into a little charging brick that you have for your phone or tablet, and then this guy charges up. And when you plug it in and it's charging, this part right here will illuminate red, and when it's finished charging it'll illuminate green. So I'm going to plug it in and just show you guys that feature real quick. Alright, so take my micro USB here. You can see this is not the one that came with it. This is just one from another electronic device I have here. But you plug this guy in the back once you pop that cover open, and once you get it in there, so you can see there's a red light on right now indicating it's charging. I haven't charged this guy in a little while, so definitely probably does need a charge. And once it finishes charging, that light will turn green, so you know that it's done. I'm not sure exactly how long this takes to fully charge. They don't say it in their product description, but I imagine it's going to be a few hours probably, depending on what kind of charger you use. But I mean, I found that it charges pretty quick and the battery lasts quite a while. The battery included with this flashlight is actually a lithium-ion battery, so it's a nice quality battery, and there's different levels of battery life depending on what setting you're using for the flashlight. Okay, so the flashlight here has three modes. So there's a bar here, which is the main one that you use for whenever using it, and then there's a little tip flashlight at the end here. And you can see that this also swivels, which I'll get to in here in a second. So that if you press this button once, the flashlight turns on this bar here, and it is the brightest setting. So at this setting, you get the full 390 lumens, and with a fully charged battery, this thing says that it will last for about 2.5 hours. Now I haven't fully tested that, so I don't know how accurate that is. That's just what the product description says on Harbor Freight's website. Now if you click that button again, it'll cycle down to the lower brightness setting for this main strip here on the flashlight. Now on this setting you get 109 lumens, and your runtime supposedly increases to 7 hours and 55 minutes, which is pretty remarkable, to be honest. And then your last setting here, if you click the button again, you get the tip flashlight, so just kind of like your standard flashlight, and you point it towards something to illuminate it. So on this setting you get 52 lumens and supposedly an 11 hour and 39 minute runtime. I kind of find it funny that, so I'm just kind of reading the specs off of the Harbor Freight listing here, but I find it funny that they are so accurate. So 11 hours, not 40 minutes, 39 minutes. So that's pretty interesting that they include that. And the other thing that I should add here is that when you have it on the most bright setting for the bar here, you get 66 feet of beam distance. The second most bright setting, you get 36 feet of beam distance, and then with this guy you get 26 feet of beam distance. So as I hinted at previously, one of the features of this flashlight is that it is a swiveling flashlight, so it's very versatile to work in many different environments and angles. So you can see right now this is the flat setting. It's completely level, 180 degrees, so you can bend this flashlight pretty much 90 degrees here one way. Still works just fine. And then you can bend it back and it'll actually go the other way. So that is a pretty nifty feature, especially if you're working on cars and you're in tight spaces and this flashlight in a flat setting isn't going to work, but if you just want to bend it slightly, then you might be able to fit it in an area to light up the workspace you're trying to work on. So that's a pretty cool feature that I really like about this flashlight too. So one of the other really nifty features that I'll show you guys using the Corvette over here is the fact that this flashlight has a magnetic base, which is really helpful, especially again when you're working in tight areas and you need to stick this against something and you need your two hands, you don't have a hand to hold this and do whatever you're working on. So and the magnet in this base of the flashlight is very strong. So I would also advise you, if you're going to be using this with the magnet, be careful if you're going to set it on a painted surface. I haven't had an instance yet where it has scratched or chipped paint, but it is a metal base, so there is a possibility that that might happen. So just be cautious with that. So this crash bar here on the Corvette, which is on the to-do list for my Corvette project, but it is made from a mild steel, so it's a great spot to show how strong the magnetic base is on the flashlight. So you can see here, I'm just going to lightly set this thing down, and that thing slammed down pretty hard. Now you can see I'm pushing on it either way, and it's very strong. It wants to stay upright. So this is just a really cool feature to have because, like, say I'm working down here, right, and I need my two hands to get to a bolt. Just turn that flashlight on and it blasts some light in there while being nice and sturdy against the metal crash bar here of the Corvette. So this is really handy too, like if you're working underneath the hood of a car. Granted, with this car that hood's fiberglass, but if your car has a metal hood, you can stick this guy on the underside of the hood while you're working on the engine. Perfect way to get some light in the car. Really cool because this thing's really portable too, so it's a good thing to add to a portable toolkit. So if you get stranded somewhere, if you're at the racetrack, you need to work on the car but you don't have an outlet and you need some light, perfect candidate right here. And you can also see when the light's on, you get a little green light on the button. So far I really like this flashlight. I got it probably 6 months ago and I've been using it quite a bit on various projects with the Mercedes or the Corvette when I need to get light in tight spaces, especially like I've been saying when you need your two hands to be working. So the magnet part of this flashlight comes in real handy. The only issue I've really ever had with this flashlight was it kept like flickering on and off sometimes, and I thought maybe I had a busted flashlight with a busted battery. But what it ended up being was that this end cap, which is where the battery is in, and this battery is not replaceable, I don't think. So once the battery goes dead, you kind of just have to replace the flashlight. But when the light was flickering, even though it was fully charged, I just tightened this end cap a little bit because, here, I'll take this off and you can see the battery at the end of the flashlight here. So that is your rechargeable lithium-ion battery. So this cap was just a little bit loose, so it just needed to be tightened. So that's why the flashlight kept kind of flickering a little bit. So if that happens to you when you get one of these, check that out. But that's really the only issue I've ever had with this thing thus far. Now the battery does come out of the flashlight. You can see here I just took it out. It's a single cell. It's like a cylindrical battery. Kind of looks like a giant AA battery. But again, I don't know. I don't think that you can buy these batteries alone from Harbor Freight. But I may be mistaken. It might be something they might add in the future. But I think at the moment you can't. So this guy just slides in here and then your cap screws back on, and there's a little spring in here that applies pressure to the contacts. So overall, what do I think of this flashlight? Well, it's really nice. The handle portion here is made from some kind of metal. It's not like the highest quality of metal, but at least it's metal and not plastic. So that's nice that there's that. The frame around the flashlight portion, this is metal. The covering for the flashlight is plastic. The only thing that I don't necessarily like is this little tip here is plastic and it wiggles a little bit, but really not a big deal. I've been using it for a while now, haven't had any issues with it, the structure of it. It's been a really solid flashlight. I've dropped it a few times. Granted, I don't know if like you drop this off a larger height object if it'll survive, but it has been a pretty robust flashlight so far. Now the only thing I have yet to test and really prove that it actually stays true to what they market it as is the battery life. I haven't really needed to use this thing for a constant 2 hours of runtime on the brightest setting. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see how closely it lives up to that as people use it more and more. But on Harbor Freight's website, it's got really good reviews. It's currently, it normally sells for $39.99, but if you guys know Harbor Freight, so here's a current listing for that. But if you know Harbor Freight, they constantly have sales, so you can see also, let me rotate this for you guys. So you can see there's 2,789 reviews for this flashlight, and it's got 4.5 stars roughly. Even looks like a little over 4.5 stars. So it's got really good reviews on Harbor Freight's website. But yeah, it sells for $40 right now. But there's a lot of really good coupons and sales where I've seen this thing as low as $19. I got it for $25 with a super coupon. So definitely, if you're going to get one of these, it's worth it to wait a little bit till you get a good coupon so you can save, you know, 15, 20 bucks. So one last thing I want to do before concluding this video is just kind of show you guys the quality and how bright the flashlight is, you know, just by using it rather than just telling you the lumen specs. So I'm going to completely kill the lights in the garage here since it is nighttime, and then we'll show you kind of the differences between the different brightness settings on this flashlight and how well it works. So the garage is pretty much pitch black minus a few lights coming in from outside here. But so I got the camera pointed towards the workbench, and so here's the brightest setting with the strip part of the flashlight. So you can see how much it illuminates the garage here, which is pretty good for the most part. And then this is the lower brightness setting on the strip part of the flashlight. So still a good amount of illumination, not nearly as much though. And then lastly, this is the you know, so this is the end tip portion of the flashlight. So when, you know, pointing it like a wand, like I'm Harry Potter about to cast a spell, you know. And so not nearly as much illumination, but this is just more for small things. You know, I wouldn't say this is very effective at like working on a car in a tight space when you need a lot of light, which this part of the flashlight, the strip part on the brightest setting, definitely provides a ton of light, which makes it really nice when working in tight spaces that are also dark. So overall, my thoughts on this Braun flashlight from Harbor Freight are really, really good. I really like this flashlight. I've been using it for a while. It's come in clutch in so many different scenarios, either working underneath the hood of the car, underneath the car in a tight space where you need both hands and you need to mount that magnetic base against something. It just works really well in a variety of situations. It's a great flashlight to have either in your permanent toolbox, like in your garage, or in a more portable toolbox that you keep in the trunk of your car, you bring to the racetrack with you, that you might need a flashlight for to check something out if you break down on the side of the road, or if something happens at the track and you don't have a plug nearby. This flashlight works out great, and especially the fact that it uses just a micro USB charging port. You know, you can use your cigarette lighter with a 12-volt adapter in your car to charge this thing. So it's a really versatile flashlight. Really nice quality, especially for the price, so I definitely recommend this thing. The only reservations I have about it are just the battery life and how long it's going to last over time, but that will come down the line, and maybe I'll do another review. Who knows? So definitely leave a comment in the comment section below if you guys have also bought this flashlight, what your opinions are and thoughts are on it. If you guys are thinking about getting one, I highly recommend it. Just wait for a coupon to come out, because you'll definitely save yourself a good chunk of money there. So that's going to conclude this review on the Braun Rechargeable stick flashlight from Harbor Freight. I hope you guys enjoyed this and learned something, and you're maybe more interested in buying this thing now. So thanks again, guys, for watching. If you haven't already, definitely hit that subscribe button for a lot more automotive related content to come, and maybe more tool reviews. It seems like the tool reviews on the channel are pretty popular. People like to see the tool reviews from Harbor Freight in different places, so I might start doing more of them. So if you guys like it, definitely give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and other than that, I will see you guys in the next one.